Hey guys, it's Dennis here. I'm with,
What's up, guys? It's your boy D.
and this is another episode of a news video for Collider Games. We just got news. Actually, it was yesterday. There was a rumor, and it was a pretty reliable rumor that the Xbox Series S, not the X, the
Right.
S, the cheaper version, all digital, cheaper version of the next gen Xbox, was going to come out on November 10th for $299, and there was a picture with it as well. Microsoft themselves confirmed it today. I guess, they figured why not. So November 10th, release date, $299 for it. It's all digital. It's a lower powered version compared to the Xbox Series X. It's a much smaller. They said it's like the smallest Xbox ever. It's like 60% smaller than the Xbox Series X. I don't know if people remember because I had the original Xbox. The original Xbox was huge,
Mm.
giant thing. The Xbox 360 was a little more slimmed down. Xbox One, got a little bit bigger, but not too big. But the Series X, if anyone's seen pictures of it, it looks like a mini tower, basically, a PC mini tower. This one is, they say it's 1440p up to 120 frames per second, DirectX ray tracing, variable rate shading, variable refresh rate, ultra low latency, custom 512 gigabyte SSD, 4K streaming media playback, 4K upscaling for games. So, it hits kind of the minimum requirements for what you would expect, but obviously not as high end as the Series X. So, what's your first take on the news, Dorian?
So when I saw this, or when I originally saw this, I was kind of like, all right, that's not bad for what all you're getting for $299, especially with the all financing deal when it comes to the Game Pass and the xCloud and things like that. I thought, you know what, this is going to make it. It seems like the route they're going is to try to make it to where they're trying to get as many of these consoles into the average consumer's household as possible, then hopefully relying on signing up for the Game Pass to keep them interested, to keep them going with this console. But I think it's fine because now, like I said, I think the average consumer, you see a kid trying to be like, all right, I need to get between these two, and the average household, the parents are going to be like, well, we're going to get you the $299 one, and if you can still play all the same games, and we're going to get you that one. So I definitely see this as a win for the average household, where when it comes to only picking one, and especially the economy we're in right now, I think this is a smart move because, like I said, again, the all financing deal, and it seems like they're going to keep putting a lot more work and keep trying to upgrade this thing. So I'm excited to see what it does with it. And I kind of feel like this, Alana Pierce actually touched on this in her video, but she mentioned that this kind of like ends the console wars, because in a way it seems like they're going for two different routes now. Sony is actually going for the traditional, more narrative storytelling with their games, trying to do that, while Microsoft, it seems like they're just trying to get it to as many consumers as possible and just try to rely more on the subscription service rather than trying to finance and produce like those original narrative games that we see on the PS4 or on the Sony, I mean.
Yeah, but the problem I have with it, I think the price is great, $299. I
Hmm.
don't know about it's obviously not as powerful as either the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, so I don't know performance wise how it'll hold up. We'll have to see, comparisons
Yeah.
of, let's say, a game on Xbox Series S versus X, which, by the way, a lot of people are complaining about the names because it's too similar. But anyways, in terms of the games, it's one of those things where I don't know. I do feel like they should focus on those narrative type games and put them on the game. If their ultimate goal is to get people on Game Pass, right?
Hmm.
They need to have the games that people want to play on there, right? For it to be a good deal. Whether you want to buy this $299 Series S version or the $500 Series X version to get Game Pass and then to play those exclusive games. Right now, there's just exclusive games are very minimal, right? There's going to be Halo, at sometime in the future there'll be Gears. I know Outer Worlds 2 will be exclusive. You need the titles like the God of Wars, the Uncharted, the Last of Us, the Ghost of Tsushima, those titles. And right now Microsoft doesn't have that because like right now, like I don't know, I'm obviously I've mentioned this many times. I'm more of an Xbox fanboy, Microsoft fanboy, but I'm leaning towards the PS5. Is my decision final yet? No, but all indications are pointing that way. And this is like a nice step, but I just don't know, even at $2.99, if I'm going to purchase it right off the bat and stick with Game Pass. I might just wait and see what Microsoft does in, let's say, a year, and then
Hmm.
maybe plop down the money for the Xbox Series X, or maybe the S is good enough. We don't know yet. Once we start seeing these games and comparisons, and be like, oh, the difference isn't vastly different. Maybe I can get away with just getting the S. So
Yeah, and you kind of hit the nail on the head because I see a bunch of people now saying like, all right, well, if there's no like gen exclusives for me to like really need to get a Series X, then why
mhm.
not? Why wouldn't I just get this? Why wouldn't I just get the 299 version rather than me hold out and wait and see what they're actually going to offer in terms of original content? And I also think now this is because like we said, if you have a gaming PC and your PC can handle xCloud and the Game Pass, and you
Mhm.
pretty much don't need this. You don't need this Series S right now. It's like you have all you need right here. But I could see somebody like, let's say somebody like us now. I'm definitely getting the PS5, but now that I have this option of like, all right, if I can get the PS5, I can get the disc version of the PS5,
Mhm.
and then go ahead and get a Series X or get the Series
S.
S.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna mess me up the rest of this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Get the Series S, and then I can have both the best of both worlds rather than just waiting and
Yeah.
trying to and do both. So I could see that being a win. Also, now you might get a couple of the Sony fans over. Now it's a little bit less expensive.
Yeah, I mean it's a great deal. Let's say you buy this for $2.99, you get the Game Pass for $10 a month. That's totally worth it. But it's just it'll be like the secondary, like you mentioned, the secondary console to the
Hmm.
PS5 that people will be mainly focused on, and it's almost like the Series X is kind of like, okay, that's like if you got the money. But
Right.
if you don't, here's the way to go, because I don't. The PS5 is going to have both versions, right? They already announced that they're going to have the higher end one and the discless version, but I don't. If I'm, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I don't think the PS5 discless version is supposed to be like less powerful. Like I feel like
Hmm.
it can be the same power just without our disc, and maybe it's just $3.99, instead of $4.99. That's kind of the way I see the PlayStation going versus having an actually not as powerful. I'm just guessing here. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I could, and I'm sure. I think there are already rumors today. I'm sure Sony and PlayStation. I expect a reveal date sooner rather than later. Now that Xbox has finally dropped the ball on theirs, because I know the Xbox or the Microsoft team hasn't fully confirmed that the
Mm-hmm.
Series X is dropping the same day, but
It's
it's
got to
safe to
be.
assume, it's safe to assume.
Got to
So
be.
that's dropping the same day. But yeah, there was no like real mention or focus on that, and it seemed I definitely it seems like at this point, because they know they don't have any real like gen exclusives for the console as the time being, unless they announce something from here until November 10th. They don't have anything like, I think we said this a while back. It seems like they're really relying on the nostalgic and the factor that you can play across thousands of games from four
Mm-hmm.
different gens. So it seems like they're going to lean more into that and try to get the consumers that maybe weren't even Microsoft fans. Maybe they weren't even Xbox fans. They were just Team Sony. But now they're
Mm-hmm.
presented with the option of like, oh, $2.99, and I get all these thousands of games that I haven't played before. I think that's what the route they're trying to rely on now versus trying to get those new fans just off of the exclusive games that they don't have.
My issue though now is, and it's not a Microsoft issue because the same thing happens with Sony and PlayStation as well. Is I have all these disc games, right? Both on
Yeah.
PS5, 4, and Xbox One, or even Xbox 360. What am I supposed to do with this if I buy a digital console? Like, that mean I got to keep around my old one. The whole point of
Yeah.
upgrading so you don't have to keep around the old one. Now I got to now anytime I want to play something older, because the great thing about, like, say, digital, or like these free upgrades that you're getting with, let's say, like Avengers, right? You can get free upgrade to PS5 or whatever. Okay, you bought it for the PS4. Now you can play on PS5. That's fine. Or you can play an old version of an old game or whatever because it's backwards compatible. But if you don't have a digital version of said game and you have a disc version, then you got to keep around the old thing. That's just kind of what I think bothers me. What do you think about the date? I just don't think it's that important. The November 10th. It's going to be before Christmas. Whether PS5 comes out a week before, 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, I don't think really makes a difference. People are willing to wait for the games that they want to play. Now, the look of it and the size of it, what do you think about the design? It has like this giant, it almost looks like a speaker,
Yes,
but
I
really
saw
it's just a fan.
those. They're like, I swear, every time we get a new reveal for a console, Twitter just memes the hell out. These are the
Yeah.
fastest like I've seen people turn around memes. I forgot what movie it was, but somebody was holding it up like it was a boombox, like they were playing
Oh, say anything? Yeah.
the music out of the boombox. I
Yeah.
thought that was funny, but I'm fine with the design. I said this. I think it looks kind of like the white Xbox Series or Xbox
Mm.
One X, because I have the white one, so it looks like that version condensed down just a little bit. But
Mm.
the black circle in the middle was a little bit. It threw me off a little bit at first. It just was like that. That's very glaring compared to the all white back the console to itself. So I was like, that'll take me a little bit to get to used to. But all in all, usually when it comes to the like consoles in general, I don't really, as long as they do the job, as long as
Yeah.
they are propelling the games, then I'm fine with. It can look as ugly as like a troll doll or something like that. They can literally give me a troll doll, and if that troll doll was able to process 4K and all this,
Yeah.
then I'm playing it. So I don't have really any issues with the design itself. If it's smaller, then that's cool. Save me some room on my desk.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've mentioned before, once I've my consoles, I don't even look at them unless I put a disc in them. It's my
Hmm.
PC tower's under my desk. I don't look at, you know what I mean? Those things are just like to be put away and not to be really looked at. They're not,
And
you
I'm
know.
now speaking of just Xboxes, that like as we're talking about this, like I haven't, now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't used my Xbox in a few weeks now. I can't remember the last time I actually have
Mhm.
turned it on and booted it up, because everything I need now is on the PC, or I'm playing PS4 because we're playing Avengers right now, because
Yeah.
I mean, you could play it on the Xbox as well, but we got Spider-Man on the PS, we got Spider-Man, so we got to play it on Sony's.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely not as big a factor in terms of my purchase decision. It's all about
They
the games.
Microsoft needs to quit playing. They just need to drop. I don't care what phase of development that AAA game is that they recruited all those people.
Quadruple A.
Quadruple
Quadruple
A.
A.
They need to show some concept art, some teasers, or
Yeah, yeah.
something, for
I
something in the
think
works.
so.
That's all they need to do. I don't care what it is. I don't care what stage of development it is. They just got to show us something. Like, there's no reason we're about to go into the next gen without one big major title that you can say like that'll be definitively on your system.
Yeah, I think the company or the new quadruple A studio is called the Initiative.
Well, they need to
That's what it,
initiate some news about this game.
I've been playing, like I've been playing. I got back into God of War because we finished our Avengers review. Not that I'll keep playing Avengers online,
Yeah.
um, streaming or co-op with you, and it's fun. But I've hopped back onto God of War. I'm halfway through the game, and they, they got the lead producer Brian Westergaard on there, and they got the lead writer from Red Dead Redemption, Christian Cantamessa, and they're getting all these people. Like you
Just
said,
haven't.
show
Yeah.
us some
Oh,
the title, the
just
title.
get a logo screen, and I'll be like, all right, Xbox, I'm back. I'm back,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. But it's not that I'm not going to buy an Xbox. It's just the question is when. It's just like the last two generations. I bought a PS4 and a PS3, but I bought them at later on, and I don't know. That might happen with Xbox, or maybe I'll just buy PS5 now, and maybe in a year buy a Xbox Series X or S.
Hmm.
Depending on how big the difference is. All right, for everyone watching, let us know what you think. Are you going to buy the Xbox Series S or X? Or are you going to buy it in a year from now, or are you just going to stay with PS5 completely? And let us know what you think about the price, because I think the price is actually pretty good, pretty
Yeah.
aggressive, and the date is fine. It's just more about get those games, exclusive games on Game Pass, and then it's totally worth just buying either an S or an X and just sitting there and paying $10 a month and getting all these awesome games. So yeah. All right, Dorian, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec, and you can find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks, and you can find me right here at Collider Games.
And you can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram Dennis.tzng. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Collider Games. Also, we have a podcast feed where we have our weekly podcast. That's the Collider Factory feed. And we'll have our interviews and reviews on there as well. So until next time, see you guys later.